What if the secret to reviving lifeless soil wasn't hidden in expensive chemicals or complicated treatments, but in simple, humble plants you may already know? Imagine walking through your backyard and seeing cracked, dry soil suddenly spring back to life, rich, dark, and filled with earthworms again, just because you planted the right companions. In today's video, we're unlocking 12 soil healing plants that work quietly beneath the surface, rebuilding fertility and health without costing you a dime in chemicals. Stick with me, because by the end, you'll know exactly which plants can bring your soil back to life, naturally, beautifully, and simply. Meet Mrs. Thompson, a 76-year-old widow living in a small Midwestern town. For years, her backyard was little more than dusty patches and weeds. She loved gardening in her younger years, but over time, the soil seemed to give up. Vegetables grew small, flowers wilted quickly, and no matter how much fertilizer she sprinkled, nothing truly came back. One day, while flipping through her old gardening journal, she remembered a note from her husband. Healthy soil comes from healthy plants. Instead of giving up, she decided to test it. She planted clover in one corner, beans in another, and scattered a few sunflowers along her fence line. Slowly, something changed. Worms returned. The soil became softer, darker. Vegetables that once struggled began to thrive. Within 2 seasons, what looked like lifeless dirt turned into a flourishing patch filled with tomatoes, zucchini, and bright blossoms. Her secret wasn't chemicals or costly fixes, it was the quiet power of soil healing plants. Her story isn't just hers, it's a reminder to all of us. No matter our age, that renewal is always possible. Why dead soil happens? So why does soil die in the first place? The truth is, soil is alive. It breathes, holds billions of tiny organisms, and depends on balance. But over the years, heavy use of chemical fertilizers, repeated planting without rotation, and exposure to harsh weather can strip it of nutrients. Imagine the land as a body that's been fed nothing but junk food. It becomes weak, tired, and unable to sustain life. Dead soil looks and feels very different from living soil. It's pale, gray, or cracked, often clumping together like dust. Try planting in it, and you'll notice stunted growth, yellowing leaves, or crops that don't produce. The good news? Soil can be healed. Just like we nourish our bodies back to health with real food, we can do the same for the ground by planting the right companions. Think of these plants as doctors, nurses, and caretakers for your garden's immune system. Instead of fighting nature, they work with it. For seniors especially, this is empowering. You don't need to lift heavy bags of fertilizer or spend money on chemicals. By simply letting the right plants grow, you can restore balance, rebuild life, and bring joy back into your garden. Secret plants 1 to 4. Let's begin with our first 4 soil healing champions. Clover, known as a cover crop, clover quietly adds nitrogen back into the soil. Farmers have trusted it for centuries because it feeds the earth without any chemicals. Plus, it attracts pollinators like bees. Alfalfa, with roots that dig deep into the ground. Alfalfa pulls up hidden nutrients that other plants can't reach, making them available at the surface. It's like nature's elevator for minerals. Comfrey, gardeners call this one green gold. Its leaves are packed with nutrients that can be chopped and dropped right onto your garden beds, acting as a natural fertilizer. Beans and peas, humble yet powerful. Legumes naturally rebuild soil fertility by working with special bacteria in their roots to fix nitrogen, making them perfect companions for vegetables. Here's a question for you. Have you ever noticed beans or peas growing better than other crops in poor soil? That's not by accident. Drop a comment below and tell us about your experience. Secret plants 5 to 8. Next, let's add another group of natural healers. Mustard, not just for your hot dog. Mustard plants cleanse the soil by suppressing harmful pests and diseases, giving your soil a fresh start. Buckwheat, this fast-growing crop, shades the soil, preventing weeds while its decaying roots add rich, organic matter back into the earth. Sunflowers, with roots that drill down deep. Sunflowers break up compacted soil, allowing air and water to flow again. Plus, they brighten your garden with cheer. Vetch, another legume that works as a nitrogen booster. It's especially good for tired soil that hasn't grown well in years. Here's the fun part. The last 4 plants include something that will surprise you. Wait until you hear about. Number 11. It's a weed. Most people pull up without realizing it's secretly healing the soil. Secret plants 9 to 12. Finally, here are the last 4 healers, some of the most surprising. Radish, daikon, with its long taproot. Daikon acts like a natural tiller, breaking up compact soil without machinery. Nasturtium, a lovely flower that draws nutrients from deep in the soil while repelling garden pests. Bonus, it's edible. Dandelion, yes, that weed you've been pulling. Its deep taproots loosen hard ground and draw minerals upward, feeding other plants. Marigold, more than just a pretty flower. Marigolds protect soil from harmful nematodes and invite pollinators into your garden. So tell me in the comments, which of these plants surprised you most? Would you ever plant dandelions on purpose? Simple action plan. Now, let's make this easy. Don't feel like you need to plant all 12 at once. Start small. Take one patch of your garden that feels dead or lifeless. Choose just 1 or 2 plants from this list, maybe clover and radish, or beans and sunflowers. Plant them, let them grow, and after the season ends, leave their roots in the soil or use their clippings as mulch. Each season, rotate in a new set of soil-healing plants. Over time, your garden will come back to life naturally. Think of it like this. Just as our bodies thrive on variety, vegetables, fruits, grains, soil thrives on diversity too. By rotating these plants, you're feeding the earth a balanced diet. And the best part? You don't need to buy expensive products or do heavy work. Even the most lifeless soil can bloom again, just like us. Sometimes, all it takes is a little care and patience. Let's circle back to Mrs. Thompson. 2 years after planting her first cover crops, her once dead backyard had transformed into a thriving paradise. Tomatoes spilled over their cages, sunflowers stood tall, and herbs filled the air with fragrance. She often says, "I thought I was too old to start again, but my garden taught me, nothing is too far gone to heal." If her story gave you hope, let it be a reminder. Your soil can bounce back too. Nature has given us the tools, 12 simple plants that restore life, fertility, and beauty to our gardens. If this video gave you encouragement, do me a favor. Click like so more gardeners like you can discover it. Share it with a friend who's been struggling with their garden. And don't forget to subscribe to the Evergreen Seniors, where life, wisdom, and gardens never stop blooming.